guys, welcome back to another episode of Craft Time with Auntie Jen. I'm so excited to have you with me today. Now, today's episode is going to focus a little bit more on a genealogy display, a family history display, and a little bit less of craft time. But it kind of goes along with the same premise of creating something to display your family history. So today we're going to be working on a shadow box that is going to be displaying 3 items that I have acquired for my husband. Let me show you what they are. Now, if you have watched my vlogs before from, I think it's like a couple of years ago now, I surprised my husband with these 2 bottles. These bottles belonged to the A.M. Jones Distillery that was located in Liberty, Missouri. And my husband is related to the family. His second great-grandfather, Joseph Henry Rickards, was the brother-in-law to James M. Jones, who owned the distillery. So yeah, my husband was really excited to learn that piece of history. So I've been scouring the internet and trying to do what I could to collect any type of information, artifacts, whatever I could to add to our collection. And he mentioned he would love to try to have some bottles. And well, like I said, if you've seen my Christmas specials, you see I finally acquired them and I gave them to him for Christmas. So here they are here. So I've been trying to figure out how I can display these somewhere in the house and keep them safe and people can enjoy looking at them then. And the biggest problem that I'm running into is that these bottles they're pretty thick. No, they're pretty thick, so it's hard finding any type of shadow box that is going to fit not just the circumference around this bottle, but also the height. So I've been trying to look where I can and see what I can find. And of course, my favorite place to shop is Michael's Craft Stores. And they always run tons of great deals when it comes to their items. And they had a great sale on shadow boxes. So I finally found something that could work. It's not perfect, but it's going to be the best that I can come up with, at least for right now. And it's this here. I got this shadow box to use. And the difference with this one in comparison to the other shadow boxes that I've looked at, as you can see, there's no glass. There's no glass front to this, so that will give me plenty of room to be able to put in the bottles and display them without them being pressed up against the glass. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is that they are exposed to the elements. So my husband is working on some sort of a plastic front to attach to this shadow box, but that will be done at a later date. For now, we're just going to deal with the fact that it's open and just go from there. At least they will be displayed and people can enjoy them. In that shadow box, like I said, I'm going to be displaying 1 bottle, 2 bottles, and if you remember I said 3 items. I got something else to show you. I picked this up a long time ago, not very long after I started doing my research, before I even got the bottles, and that's what really kind of paved the way for us to start looking for the bottles. And it's a shot glass from the A.M. Jones Distillery. I think you can see. So, yeah, he was so tickled to get this. So, this is going to be also displayed with those 2 bottles. Now, of course, I can't do anything simple. That's just who I am. So, I decided, I need to add something else to this shadow box, something to display what these are, why we're displaying them, and that there's a lot of things that go along with it. And that's what's going to come along with this video, is showing you what else I'm going to add to this shadow box besides just the bottles and the shot glass. Through my research, I have found some photos from the distillery, original photos that were provided to me through the Clay County Archives in Liberty, Missouri, along with research done online and finding some photos online, and including photos that my husband and I have taken ourselves of the property when we took a trip there in 2014. Now this is all great that I would love to display with this shadow box, you know, because it all goes together. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I decided upon that's going to work out. So not only will the shadow box be on display, these photos are also going to be displayed, and I'm going to show you also how I am displaying them with the shadow box. So by the end of it, you're going to see it all come together. So it might be a little jumbled, but bear with me on this. But you know what? I'm ready to show you what I've done with this. So yeah, I hope you can take this idea and make it your own, and I hope it gives you, you know, maybe some inspiration. But you know what? Enough rambling. Let's get on to creating this. I am so excited. Here we go. So the first thing I had to do was make a run to Michael's to pick up a few more things to add to this project, one of them being a decorative box. The idea I had was putting the photos in a clear plastic album and then storing them in the box and placing them on top of the frame. As you can see, they have many options, but I just loved the saying on this one, so I decided that this was it. So once I picked out the box and added a small clear plastic album, I was ready to get started. Now, before we actually put the frame together, there are some things we need to take care of first. One thing I really wanted to do was to showcase the history a little bit about the distillery along with the bottles that I had. During my research, I have acquired many photographs of the distillery or relating to the distillery and the location. This is James M. Jones, the owner of the distillery. And this is the name of the distillery, A.M. Jones. And another photo. These are photos that I printed out whenever I went to the history fair that was located in Union, Missouri. And I'll share a link to that, actually, to that video. But at my booth, I had these photos sitting out along with the bottles so everyone could look at these. Well, I really want to display these photos here at home. So these are going to be displayed along with this photo as well. Now, I was trying to come up with an idea on how to display all these photos because as you see here, I've got many more photos that I'd like to display. So I came up with the idea of this box. This one fit perfectly. Our pictures tell our story. And so this is where the photos are going to be displayed. These big ones here especially. Those are going to be in the box. Now, for the smaller photos that I have here, I have quite a few photos that I have collected. And some of them were actually taken by my husband and myself when we visited Liberty before they finished tearing down the old house, one of the old buildings that was associated with the distillery. So some of these photos are actually my photographs. And, you know, I really wanted to put them somewhere with the bottles. So if anyone was curious about the property, they could look at the photos as well. So I picked up this little itty bitty just plastic photo album at Michael's as well for like $1 something. And so I'll take that and I'm going to put that in here with the rest of the pictures. And I will display this then on top of the frame, the shadow box that I'm going to have the bottles placed in. So that way anyone can just come up and if they want to look at it, they can just open it up, take the photos out and just page through the photos. See? Pretty simple. But before we even put those photos in there, we're going to have to take them and we have to cut them out. And I'm going to write on the back of each photograph what they are, who took them or where I got them, and a little bit of the history about it. So that way, if the photos ever do get taken out, there's history associated with each photo. So first, that's what we've got to do. We've got to cut these photos out and then get them put into this plastic album right here after we write on the back of them. So let's get to it. Okay, all of my photos are now cut out, so now it's time for me to write on the backs of the photos of what each one is and what it pertains to and where I got it from. So let's do that now. Okay, all the photos are now cut up, and I have written on the back of what these photos are, so if anyone were to take them out, they would know exactly what these photos are for. So I have divided them up now into groups and put them in order how I want them to go. So now it's just time to put them in the little photo album that I have. So let's do it. And there you have it. We're all done. I put all the photos that I currently have inside of this little photo album. So it'll keep safely in this box that'll be stored then on top of the shadow box that I'm going to be putting up. So that's what we're going to do next. So here we are. This is where I have decided to display the bottles in my house. And if you look behind me, that's the same gallery wall that I have also displayed in my family history display. So it's in my kitchen, dining room. It's going to fit perfectly where I need it to. So I had my husband hang this for me because he's really good about trying to get things even and straight and put them in the correct studs and make sure it's not going to go anywhere. So this is where we're going to hang it. So first we need to do, I'm going to put this photo of the distillery and the water that they used to use for the distillery. I'm going to put that in the background. All I did is I just took the photo and printed it out on photo paper as an 8x10 photo. So we're going to make sure that this stays secure. Just going to use a little tape. And I wrote on the back of this one too of what this photo is for. So there, we've got that photo. I'm also going to display this so they kind of know, what I'm displaying up here, the distillery and what these bottles are for. So that's also going to go right up there. I think that looks good. All right, now it's time for the bottles themselves. There's one, and then there's two. So I think that looks really good. Now the final piece right here, the shot glass. Now if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it from where you are right there, but I put some ticky-tack on the frame to attach this shot glass to, so it doesn't go anywhere temporarily until we figure out something as far as a cover on the front of this. So just attach that like that. And there you have it. That's the frame itself. And I could have stopped right there and just, left it. It's a nice display. It does exactly what I need it to do. But like I said, I can't do anything simple. So I've done this. There's the box that has the photos in them that we just put together in that little itty bitty frame in the little photo album. So, and of course, this will be great for if I collect more information in the future, maybe some newspaper articles. I have my friend Chris, who lives in Liberty, who he's an archivist and genealogist and historian. He's always sending me articles that he comes across in the Liberty Tribune that mentions either the distillery or my husband's family. He's really great about doing that. So anytime I get anything new, I just put it right in the box. So for now, it just gets displayed up there. So if anyone comes up and they decide, they look, what is this about? What is going on here? I want to know more about this. I just tell them, take the box, open it up, and look at the photos. It even has some of the information in there from some of the books about the, that they wrote about the distillery. So there you go. So there you go. Everything you need in one spot. so you don't have to go and try to run and find a photo album or get your information out or whatever you need. So there you go. So yeah, this episode was, like I said, kind of different today, where we're more focused on a genealogy display, a family history display, and not so much crafting today. But I hope this inspires you to also think about outside of the box and do some of your own displays and get some ideas. That's the whole point of all this. What's the point of doing this research if you can't display it and share it with everyone? So that's what I'm hoping that this series will kind of be. It'll be about crafting and displaying your family history. So I hope you enjoyed this episode this time, and if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing more videos, hopefully, as time permits. Do some more crafting videos and some more vlogs. And you know, I'm not really good about a scheduled upload, so you know what you need to do? You need to ring that little notification bell and select it for all notifications, so you will be notified when I do finally upload a video. But I promise you, there are more coming. So thanks for sticking around with me, and who knows what we're going to do next. But for now, we'll see you later.